All right, Camera wants to do his own thing. What's going on, everybody? And thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Man of Real Talk podcast. I am your host, Mr. Mike Wiley, saying greetings and salutations to all of you, our faithful followers and our listeners. Look, y'all already know we appreciate every like, every click, every share, every download, whatever it is that you do to support this podcast. We do not take it lightly and we appreciate it. However, you support us, we don't take that thing for granted. We appreciate y'all and we thank y'all because we know that you can be doing anything else and listening to anybody else, but you support us. So we definitely thank you. Let me adjust my mic here and
make sure that you guys can hear me. Hopefully that's a little bit better. I was getting some weird thing going in my headphones there. All right. So hopefully that's a little bit better. If y'all can hear me, those that are watching live, let me know if you guys can hear me. I'd appreciate it. Listen, again, thank you all for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, I want to say thank you and welcome. Hopefully you'll enjoy this conversation. If this is not your first time back and you are a faithful listener, faithful follower, welcome back. Because as you can see, your boys is back on the air with the Man of Real Talk podcast, the podcast for the people. Now, normally this is the part where I would introduce my co-host, but as you can see, Mr. Hines is not here. He has some apparently some really important stuff that he had to take care of today. So he is away on an important mission, and so he won't be with us on today. But we still acknowledge him and appreciate him. And we'll see him back on this time next week. Listen, I'm not going to be on here long tonight. Number one, because I'm tired. It's been a long week. And I almost put a replay of a show up today because when Phil contacted me, it was like, Mike, look, man, I ain't going to be able to make it tonight. I was like, word? I almost saw that as a way out. And I was going to put a video up that we already did. But because I'm going to tell y'all that every other week was starting to feel, I was getting a little too comfortable with doing every other week. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, nah, let me go ahead and go live and be on tonight. But as I did mention the other week, we probably will be changing the format soon. Now, look, y'all know. I love hanging out with y'all. Like, for real. I appreciate all the live conversation and the comments and the feedbacks and everything. And I like checking that stuff out in real time. But realistically speaking, most of our views come from, it doesn't come from the live stream. It comes from people going back to watch the video afterwards. A lot of people don't even really be on with us when we go live. Now, let me say this. Those you all that normally tune in live, I appreciate y'all, and I do. But I think with the live streams, what we may start doing is doing those maybe every quarter or something, maybe once a month, and we're going to just start doing more uploaded videos and trying to get used to that format. I'm trying to get something going, and in order for me to do that, I need to start doing more pre-recorded stuff. So that's the other reason for that. And then, sometimes Friday, it's just Friday. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do I want to do live today? I don't know, depending on how that week goes. But anyway, but again, here today, appreciate y'all. Phil will be back next week. So we'll be back into the swing of things as normal. And yeah, and that's pretty much what that's about. A couple of things, excuse me, I wanted to touch on today before we kind of get into the whole DNC conversation. And let me preface that conversation by saying this. If you came here for like some detailed, in-depth conversation about the DNC, this ain't the show. And the reason why I say that is because we live in a society nowadays where politics is almost as divisive as racism. I mean, it's like you can't even talk about politics because people get so heated and they so I don't know what it is, but it's like pop people are not feeling politics. It's like, don't talk to me about politics. I ain't trying to hear you about no politics. Don't talk to me. Don't say nothing. And whether you vote Republican or Democratic, that is absolutely your choice. I am not here to try to sway you to vote either way. I'm not here to try to convince you what candidate to follow. None of that stuff. I'm simply going to be giving my just perspective of the DNC. That's all. But before we get into that, there's a couple other things that I wanted to talk about. There's this, if you haven't already seen it, for those of you that have Netflix, there is a documentary on Netflix called Daughters. And I'm telling you now, as a dad, as a father, you absolutely need to watch this documentary. You have to watch it. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to tell you now, it's one of those things that it was a hard watch. It was like When They See Us, man. I pushed through watching that, but it's not something that I can watch again because it triggers some things. You know what I'm saying? But it was excellent, but I can't watch it again. Daughters is it's a project from a director named Angela Patton, or directors, I should say, Angela Patton and Natalie Ray. And what it is that there is a prison in DC, and there is a program that they are trying to incorporate into this particular system, where they let fathers enjoy a kind of prom like dance or a date with dad type of program thing. Y'all ever seen like when the schools have the the daddy and daughter dances? So they're trying to implement this program like that at this particular prison, so that the fathers get a chance to have at least that kind of one night with with their daughters. Now, whether this is something that's going to happen every year or I don't know, but that's essentially what this program is doing. And the documentary follows like four girls. I think they age range anywhere from like 5 to 15, and and it's just kind of following them getting ready for this day, and is also following the inmates too, because it's like a whole 10-week like counseling process that leads up to the dance. And I'm gonna tell you, man, I watched that thing, and I don't. It was hard for me to get through. It was hard for me to get through it as a father. My heart went out to these girls, and it went out to these guys that was in prison too, man. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. Just gonna be honest with you. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, to be away from my kids like that. And I watched that, and I'm telling you, if you're gonna watch it, fellas, and especially if you're gonna watch it with your ladies, listen. That's how you do it. You have your tissue and stuff already in there, and you keep it on the low so she can't see it. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be some stuff that's gonna get at you, like for real, for real. So if you haven't already watched it, I encourage you to definitely check that out. What's going on, John, man? Appreciate you, bro, for tuning in. And it's called, again, it's on Netflix, and it's called Daughter. So please check it out. It is an excellent documentary. And like I said, if you're a father, even if you're not a father, just go, please go and check that out. What else? Listen, Tyrese was on the Breakfast Club the other day. And Tom, what's going on, man? And I normally don't watch the Breakfast Club because they are normally petty and they're messy, but I understand because they're kind of like, that's kind of like their thing. It's gossip radio, basically. And so Tyrese was on, and he had a really, really good he had a really good interview, and actually all of his interviews are really interesting. And I always enjoy when he's on. Eric, what's going on, man? And so he was on, and he was talking and everything, and so it was a section where he got to, and he was just talking about how he was like, listen, man, all the stuff, he was talking about all the stuff that he was going through and everything, and he kind of started crying and stuff like that. And I know I've even made fun of him on the show before, because they had that meme of him when he was going through his divorce and everything. And he was like, what do you want from me? All of that stuff. And I even admitted that I made fun of the man. But what he said, though, really, really struck a chord with me, because it was like, it's funny how in situations like that, the man always seems to be overlooked, right? When divorce is happening, right? It's more than the woman that's going through the divorce. That man is going through too, right? When there's a miscarriage, it's more than the woman who suffered loss and who's experiencing, who's grieving and things of that nature. That man, especially if he was a good man, if he was with that woman during her pregnancy and doing what he was supposed to do, he experienced that loss as well. When as a man you're supposed to provide, and those times when you can't provide because maybe the job that you work, you're not making enough money, or you don't have a job, or you're in between jobs, or whatever the case may be, it's more than that woman that's suffering in those times. When there are battles of, if the man and the woman don't get along and you're having custody battles, it's more than that woman that's going through with this custody battle. It's something about how society walks over the man to go and see how the woman is doing. And ladies, listen, this is not an indictment on you, because I don't need y'all coming at me. I don't need the emails. I don't need the text messages, none of that stuff. This is not an indictment on you. This is an indictment on how the world sees men. And oftentimes see us in situations whereas it seems like the woman is the only one that's going through, and that's not true. And I know it's from the beginning, because they tell, even when y'all getting married, they tell y'all, this is your day. This is your day. I'll be honest with you. I was told before I got married that, listen, this is your wife's day. All we need you to do is stand up there and look handsome. What do you mean it's her day? And it was explained to me like, well, what they mean is because every girl dreams of getting married, but it's just a bigger deal for that guy as it is that woman. You don't think that when a woman has a miscarriage, that man ain't hurting just as much? I went through that. I know what that feels like. And this is in no way of me dismissing what my wife was feeling, because I know she carried that baby for 9 months or for whatever the duration was. But that hit me just as hard. I was wondering, was it something that I did? Is it something that I didn't do? You know what I mean? So it's like, we tend to forget that the man goes through just as much. But see, I know that the world try to paint this picture, like, especially in divorces, like it's the man that's, he trying to keep the house and he's trying to do this and he's trying to that. No, man. That man, if he loved that woman, or if he, if he got married with the notion that they were gonna work out. I'm sure. I don't think anybody gets married with the idea that they're not going to stay married. And sometimes it just doesn't work. But you don't think that man ain't going through something when that divorce is happening? When he can't take care of his family, you don't think he ain't going through something? When there's a loss of a child, you don't think that man ain't going through something? But in many instances, we will walk over that man and will say, hey, woman, how are you doing? And all he was saying is, listen, check in on that man from time to time. I know, I get it. We men. And we shouldn't let stuff like that, get to us, and we shouldn't let those things, we gotta make sure that we kind of decompartmentalize our feelings and stuff like that. And then a lot of times we do. I get it. But man, we got to start normalizing checking in on these men. Brothers, we got to start normalizing checking in on our brothers. Like, for real, for real. We got to. Men go through just like women do. They may, let's just say this, even if men go through it differently, those feelings and those experiences are very similar. So let's stop disregarding a man's feelings in divorces. Stop disregarding a man's feelings during miscarriages. Stop disregarding a man's feelings when the house when the house is not being taken care of, or when things ain't financially straight. You don't think that man ain't sitting up there trying to figure out how to make that stuff work? Come on, man. We got to stop disregarding the man's feelings. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Who's it? Oh, y'all talking it up, ain't it? What y'all talking about? Oh. Phil, I thought you were in Alaska. Yeah, Eric, Phil is in Alaska helping his cousin dig out of a drive-through. What it is. But yeah, man, it's ladies, y'all gotta, gotta get with me on that one. That's why we get a band, and they get a band and a ring. They don't stand when we walk in. We don't even come down the aisle. You know what? I didn't even think about that, Tony. We only get a band. They get a band and a ring. We don't walk down the aisle. There is no wedding thing for the man. You just standing up there. They're like, you stand here with your cronies, and we're gonna play the music when the when the bride walks in. We just come through the side door like the hired help. That's crazy, but it's true. It's true. Nothing. To be honest with you, nothing really. It's murmurs of thing, but nothing solid. Nothing that I want to be like, man, let me tell you. It's nothing. I'm just saying. What if I don't know if Judge Mathis will be okay after 39 years and his wife? Listen, that after 40 years, what are you really gonna do? After 10 years, can we really just? And I know this wasn't a conversation for tonight, but since we here, after a certain amount of time, it's just like, where are you gonna go? What are you going like 39 years? And all of a sudden you're gonna just say, yeah, I'm good. It's like, at that point in your life, are you really gonna be trying to look for somebody else? I'm at a point in my life now, and I'll be 50 next year. I'm not trying to learn anybody else's crazy. I'm just not. I know my wife's crazy. I can deal with her crazy. She knows mine. We gotta just look. We're gonna figure this thing out. I can't see being with somebody for 40 years and then just saying, all right, well, look, I'm up. I wish you the best in all your endeavors. I don't see it. And I'm not saying, and look, And I'm not saying stay in a situation where you're not happy, but it's like it took you 40 years to realize you wasn't happy. If that was the case, was it infidelity? I'm just, I don't know. And I know everybody's case is different. And I'm not, and again, this is not me trying to tell people what to do. Never will I do that. You have to do what's best for you. But I'm just saying, after a certain amount of time, it's like, what are we doing really? Can you what you about to do now? You finna set you up a profile on Tinder? You finna go make you a christiansingles.com profile? That's what you're about to do. So you get on there and somebody you hook up with who online name is Boaz, and then you get him in real life and realize he a dumbass. That's what you want to do? All right. You go right ahead. I mean, I don't know. It's 39 years is a long time. I get it, Tina. I get it. Some people always try to find happiness no matter how old. Sometimes it sneaks up on you. Yeah, well, if it's sneaking up, if it's gonna take that long to sneak up, man, you need to just stay hidden, like for real, for real. I mean, good Lord. You were saying men feel hurt when they go through divorce, so I just thought Judge Mathis would be hurting after 39 years. And look, he probably is. I don't know. I don't know what the basis of their divorce is. I don't know. I hope it's amicable, and I hope whatever it is that they work it out. Thank God they ain't got no young kids involved. I'm sure he got kids, but they probably got families of their own. So listen, I wish them both the best. I'm just saying, it's 39 years is a long time. And I'm gonna be honest with you. The dating game ain't the same. 39 years ago versus now, you can cancel Christmas. The game is different out here. It ain't no people don't date with purpose no more. Ain't no courting. There's no phase when you go from talking to now we're kind of exclusive. No one does that. That is not the game anymore. They're gonna get out here and it's gonna be culture shock for them trying to find somebody. Because they ain't gonna get nothing but a bunch of penis pics and some Instagram posts. That's about it. But you know what? God bless them. God bless their ministry. So anyway, but that's all. He spoke. Tyree spoke some truth, and I appreciated that. You gotta the men go through just like the women go through, and but society has taught people to step over the man and say and check on the woman, and we got to stop normalizing that and start normalizing, checking on both of them. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the DNC 2024, let's talk about it. Again, I will preface it by saying this is not an in-depth conversation. I am not here to discuss your political standings, your affiliations, and none of that stuff. Did you watch the convention? What was your thoughts? That's all we're talking about tonight. That's it. What'd you say, Tony? Tony said, I know a guy who left his wife after 25 years, says he didn't know her after 3 kids, got remarried, new wife, died in a horrific accident, and he tried to go back to his first wife. She was like, nah, we good. Wait. Oh, the new wife died. I was like, wait a minute. He died in an accident? How did that happen? Anyway, so the new wife died and she tried. Yeah, I mean, hey. Sometimes it works out that way, man. Eric, I'm surprised the DNC even had a convention. I know they are very busy with their genocide. We're not going to do that tonight, Eric. I get it. You got a real heavy stance when it comes to Palestine and everything else that's going on in the world. That ain't what I'm doing tonight. I don't want to block you, bro. I don't want to block your comments, but If we can't have amicable conversation, we're not doing it. I'm just going to be honest with you. Now, if you didn't watch the DNC, you didn't watch it. If you have no comments on it, you have no comments on it. But this, I'm not doing this. I'm just going to be honest with you. So anyway, I watched it, or at least I watched most of it, I think. I guess I never actually watched one of the conventions because I didn't realize it was so many days and so many hours. Jesus, that was like I think the first day was like 6 hours or so. Now y'all know I wasn't finna sit up there and watch no 6 hours worth of stuff. I just wasn't. I went on YouTube, was looking for the highlight reel. That's what I did, just to see what was what. And here's what I will say, or what I noticed about the DNC. It was very black. It was really black. And yeah. And it was really, I will say this. It didn't seem like, it seems like it was more, yeah, were they taking jabs at Trump? Absolutely. Every chance they got, they was taking jabs at Trump. I get it. But it didn't seem like it was like a whole lot of mudslinging. And I'm sure that's going to come later because it always does. But it didn't seem like it was so much, let me just talk down about the other party. It kind of had an overtone of like, listen, we're excited about, this new thing. You were excited about Kamala and the possibility of her making history and blah, blah, blah. And, and all of that stuff. And so I watched it where I didn't feel like I didn't come away with it feeling like, oh my God, here we go again, And if I have to be honest, it kind of felt like it was a little reminiscent of 2008. I'm not gonna be honest with you. It was a lot of excitement, a lot of I think a lot of genuine excitement. I think they did have some really interesting moments. Listen, I will forever now associate our vice president with the Lil Jon song. To the windows, to the walls. I thought, hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, I thought that was kind of clever. And I was actually shocked to see Lil Jon there, which is funny. He just kind of came out of nowhere. But I thought that was actually pretty clever. I said, all right, I kind of dig that. I did appreciate the fact that they were trying to break down some of the Project 2025. If it was something different, I wish they would have done. I wish they would have went more in depth with that and really, really took some time out to say, listen, these are things that they have in it. This is how it's worded, but this is what it's meant. Because the reality is that a lot of people are not going to go to her website and read Project 2025, because I don't know how many pages it is, but it's a gang of pages, and Delcy, stop. And so I wish someone would have been there to kind of give maybe some bullet points, you know what I'm saying? And to give people a better understanding of what Project 2025 is, because a lot of people just don't know. Yeah, it's over 900 pages. That's insane. Nobody's going to go and research that and read that. And I'm telling you that 987 pages, I don't even read my end user. I don't even read that thing. You know how when you go onto websites and they have that that end user agreement, and it's and you just scroll down and just hit agree. I'm sorry, I don't read that. It's all lawyer jargon. I don't understand most of it. But 900 and some odd pages, that's insane. Somebody needs to be able to break that down and say, listen, this is this. And maybe I'll research it, but my God. Yeah, that book was that the actual book or was that something that they made? Because that book was huge. Everybody that brought that book out, I was like, I ain't seen a book that big since the Bible my grandmama used to own. And you know, if you have them old grandmamas, they had them Bibles that took up the whole table, and they always kept it open to Psalm 23rd, the 23rd Psalm for some reason. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But that book was huge. Yeah, Tony, that's what I'm saying. So it's just you just need the first few summary pages, white nationalism, Congress broken down. You know what? I think what I'm gonna do, I may just do my due diligence to try to see if I can find like some cliff notes on it and talk about it on the show. You know, because I think it's important. Now, do I think it's going to change the minds of the people that already got it made up in their mind that they're not going to vote? No. But I do believe that the more you know and the more information you have, the better equipped you'll be with making an informed decision. Whether you vote Democratic, whether you vote Independent, whether you vote Republican, I just think it's good information it's good information to know, because we need to know what it is that's being introduced as policy. We need to understand what's being introduced as law, because if we just go in and we just blindly voting or blindly not voting, whatever you choose to do, that's not a good thing, you guys. It's not a good thing. And the one thing that we always harp on this show is that we want you guys to be informed and not influenced. That's why even when we talk about stuff on here, I always tell you, go research it. Go look it up yourself. Go read on it. Go check it out. Google it. Whatever it is you got to do to get that information, you know. So yeah, that Project 2025, I wanted them to talk about that a little bit more. I also it's a couple other things. I saw Oprah was there. Are we still cool with Oprah? I thought we kind of didn't like Oprah. Or is Oprah kind of okay? Is she still okay? I don't know, because I haven't seen her, you know, and for whatever. But she was there, and she gave her endorsement for Kamala, and I thought Oprah was independent. I thought she was independent, but I was surprised to see her there. I didn't think we got down with Oprah like that, but she was there. So, you know, Oprah was there. That was interesting. Um, the speeches I enjoyed. I definitely enjoyed oh, he put the link for. Yeah, please put that link, Eddie, if you don't mind. I appreciate it. Post that link for Project 2025. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Des. I'm all about being an informed voter. You gotta be. I never liked the idea of them introducing that thing. Whereas if you just want to vote all Democrat, punch here. If you want to vote all Republican, punch here. And it's like, I want to know who it is I'm voting for. That's all I need to know. So I said, I tell folks that ain't the problem. Democrats should have been working on a Project 2025. There's no need to complain about what conservatives are doing. Dems need a playbook, but no need to go deep. I ain't trying to get. You're not going to get banned. Stop it. I'm not an Oprah fan at all. That woman is as phony as a $3 bill. Jesus. Someone said they'll be happy when this season is over so folks can go back to regular stupid. What are they talking about, Mike? I don't know. Like, are you asking me because you think I'm regular stupid? I'm offended. You know what? I kind of agree with that sentiment, because I don't know, the level of stupid that people are on nowadays is just it's beyond reasoning. It's like when you, like, I was talking about this I was talking about this with somebody else. When you have people that believe that water isn't wet, When you have folks that think 1 times 1 equals 2. I mean, these are the times that we're living in. These are the times that we're living in. And the sad thing about it is that people believe almost nowadays. If you can say, let me tell you this. You can say almost anything with authority and conviction, and people will 90% of the time believe you. They don't question it. They don't ask. They just say, oh, well, this guy sounds like he knows what he's talking about. But it's people now that have no idea what they talk. I was on TikTok, as I am, unfortunately, every day, because I'll be looking for stuff to talk about. And there was this guy who is this, I guess, health guru or whatever. And he said that we as humans aren't supposed to drink water. He said water was made for animals. We don't supposed to drink water. We get our water from vegetation. And I was like, huh? He said, yeah, science has been lying to y'all for all these years. We ain't supposed to drink water. Get your water from cactuses and the leaves. And you got to get your water from the earth. I said, okay, are you talking about the source of water, or are you just talking about we shouldn't just drink water at all? I am confused, as he was, when I later realized. But as folks in the comment section, it was like, oh my God, this dude is talking truth. He's spitting truth. And it's like, what is he even talking about? I don't get it. But yeah, regular stupid. We need that again. We need regular stupid in the world again, because the level of stupid that people are on nowadays, it is beyond belief. It's beyond belief. And we live in a world of influencers where people want to be influenced instead of informed. They want to be entertained instead of having knowledge of whatever it is that it's like they don't care. And you also have to consider the fact that everybody now is living in their truth. Let me tell y'all a few things about truth. Number one, there's too many misconceptions about truth in the world. Just because you believe something, don't make it true. And just because a notion or an idea is popular, does not make it true. And you have people that walk around right now talking about, I'm living in my truth. You are living a lie. And what it is that people are starting now to equate the truth with their opinion. But the truth is always rooted in reality. It's always based on reality. It's always based on facts. It's not based on your opinion. It's not subjective. But we have gotten to a point in this world where whatever it is that we believe is the truth. And I understand. I get it. I know that a person's perception is their reality. But sometimes some people got to stand in the gap and say, no, that's not right. I joked about it on my show some weeks ago, and we was talking about Terrence Howard. And somebody had made in a comment, somebody had made a comment on one of his videos, somebody said, well, I'm glad Terrence Howard said it. And it's like, so that all it takes is just for somebody famous to say something and we believe it. And I made the joke that if Terrence Howard got on the video and he told people that you don't have trees growing in your backyard, but those are penises growing out of in your backyard, are we going to now just that's what we're going to start calling trees now because Terrence Howard said so? That's the level of stupid that people are operating on right now. That's where we are in the world. So yes, Tina, I want regular stupid to come back because this level of stupidity, it's gotten out of hand. It has gotten out of hand. And yes, I've heard that saying before. Everybody got a smartphone and they too dumb to even use Google to get some information. And listen, let me say this. Don't stop at Google because Google just give you the stuff that people have put on the internet. Like, it ain't like it's somebody up there regulating it. And then again, it might be. But I'm just saying, just try to research it. Try to. Stupidity sounds like wisdom to foolish people. Yeah, it absolutely does. So, Mike, what are you saying? After these messages, regular stupid won't be. After these messages, we'll be right back. No, regular stupid is gone, Tina. I don't think it's coming back anytime soon. Hey, man. Hey, you better respect them vortices. Oh, Lord. You got to respect the vortices, man. You got to. Take it from me, man. I know. Let me stop. But anyway, DNC. What was some other? Listen, say what you want about the Obamas, man, but my goodness, that listen, people, Barack didn't do nothing for black people. All right, that's fine, but that man is a speaker. He is a talker. And he's just a naturally funny dude. I enjoyed his speech. And let me say this. I enjoyed Michelle's speech because you know why? Michelle said some stuff that she would have never said as the vice president. Ever. Because somebody would have advised her against that. But I'm glad that she said what she said and how she said it. That's what I'll be wanting in politics. It's like sometimes, I get it. We want to be politically correct, but it's like, come on, man. Somebody got to be real somewhere. You can't try to appease everybody. Some folks are going to be offended. Some folks are going to get upset. All I want is just people to be honest. That's all I want. Tone. I'm telling you. Tony said, I put up a boost about Obama being a man of character and black folks went bananas on my. I do not understand the hatred for the man, especially by us. See, and I think what people really want to do now, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of folks just want to get Trump back in office so they can possibly get another $1,200. That little stimulus, and it looked real nice. Even with Biden kind of did the same thing. We called them Biden bucks when we got them. Thank you, Paul. We appreciate you. But I don't understand where it comes from, man. I enjoyed his speech, and I'm gonna tell you, I miss the man. I miss him. I do. I'm not gonna even lie to you, man. But I appreciated him. I appreciate what he did. Do I wish he could have done more? Yeah, but I understand the opposition he was up against too. But I enjoyed his speech. I enjoyed Michelle's speech, and you know what? I enjoyed I'm gonna tell you what kind of got me a little bit. It almost got me, Tone. One almost came down. It was when Wall's son, when he gave his speech and he was talking, and just how he was just talking about how proud he was of him and everything, man. That got me. I ain't gonna lie to you. That got me a little bit. So I enjoyed his son. I enjoyed his speech. Overall, I mean, it is what it is. It's people promoting, and even I will say this also. I enjoyed Kamala's speech. Now, do I think it's going to sell the people who weren't completely sold on her already? Absolutely not. But I appreciate what I heard from her. It made me a little bit more intrigued, and I'm more interested in the election Now, I'm just going to be honest with you. And I like Joe Biden. As a matter of fact, I even liked his speech. That almost got me too. And he was like, I gave my heart and my soul to this country. And he was like, and even though he loved, even though he loved the job, he loved the country more. And I was like, man, that's if, and I say that, I preface it with the word if he stepped down of his own will and decided, you know what, I'm gonna endorse Kamala and let her do this thing. God bless him. Because that's not easy to do. Because a lot of people lost faith in him after that debate in June. They was like, man, I just don't think this guy's capable. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I even thought it. I just did. I was like, I don't know if this is. I don't know if he's really the right candidate. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say that I don't think he couldn't do the job, but it's like, man, I just want somebody that just wasn't around during the Jim Crow days. We need people in Washington with a new point of view, with a new perspective. That's all. So I don't know. But again, I watched it. Thought it was okay. Thought it was positive. It was, it was exciting. I think it did what it was supposed to do, which was to kind of get the Democrats, those who vote Democratic, to kind of, get them really excited about voting. And I think it served this. I think it served this purpose. All in all, if I was to rate it, I'd give it a 7 out of 10, I guess. But again, I don't know what that would, in regards to rating conventions. Never done it before, so I don't know how that stands, but it was pretty cool. I do remember popping in on the Republican convention at one point in time, and I'm like, I'm gonna tell you, I was really disappointed with Hulk Hogan. And I know Hulk Hogan ain't exactly listen. I know Hogan has had some interesting things to say about certain people, but it's like I to really see him up there, really just he was in full coon mode, and I didn't even think that white people can do that. But he showed his real colors at the convention. And I think that kind of sealed it for me with Hulk Hogan. For a long time I tried to defend him, but I don't know, man. Yeah, I know, Eddie. I know. I tried to ignore it. I tried, but yeah, Hogan been a racist for a minute. I don't think that it was on his own will. He was instructed to withdraw from the race. Yeah, I know. The issue I have with the election and a lot of problems facing the black community is the lack of research. It is going to kill us if we don't do better. That's with anything, Eddie. I mean, we just don't do it. We just don't research anything at all. He also showed it at his bar, saying that she would. Oh yeah, he did. He did say he would body slam. Come on, I'm like, Hogan, what's it? I can't. I can no longer support the red and yellow, bro. I just can't do it. So yeah, enough of Hogan. But look, that was my view of the DNC. Again, I don't know if you all watched it. If you didn't, if you want to watch it, it's all on YouTube. I didn't watch the whole thing. I got the Cliff Notes version. I watched the highlights and stuff like that, and I watched certain speeches because it was a lot of just talking and a lot of propaganda and a lot of selling, and and I'm just like, all right, I'm good with that. But all in all, it was okay. Look, I know it's already been an hour already almost. I want to do something a little fun tonight because, as I'm watching the convention, and like I said earlier, the one thing about the convention is that I noticed it was really, really black. I mean, it was just black folks was just everywhere. Tony was like, well, it was in Chicago. What you expect? I'm like, that's true. But I'm just like, we was really on display at the DNC, for better or for worse. And it got me to thinking. I said, you know what? In celebration of the DNC's blackness, what I wanted to do tonight was I wanted to talk about black sayings, because I thought about Little John and how he got the whole to the windows to the walls thing now with soon to be Vice President Walls, and I said, black people are always coming up with some clever stuff and how to say things. And I said, you know what? And John actually sent me a video, and it was a video talking about popular black sayings. And I want to go through some of those tonight. And of course, if you guys have some or heard some, please chime in. So these are in no particular order. It's not a top 10 or anything like that, but these are just some of my favorites. And I wanted to share them with you guys. So saying number one, right? Stop me if you heard this one. What had happened was, anytime somebody starts a conversation with what had happened was, it's a good chance that they lying. See, what had happened was, nope, I ain't trying to hear you. No, you're about to lie. I don't want to hear it. No, don't tell me that, because it's no. What had happened is a clear indication that this person is not about to tell you the truth. I don't care what they tell you. They are about to lie. And when they say what had happened was, they are thinking on the spot, trying to figure out how they're going to spin this lie to you. But it's something that we use all the time. What had happened was, okay, well, tell me then what had happened. And as you sit there, you listening to it. And some people have the nerve to tell you some stuff that's so egregious and is so unbelievable. You have to ask this next question, which I heard this a lot coming up when I was little. Do I look like Boo Boo the Fool? Now look, somebody needs to explain to me, first of all, who Boo Boo the Fool is. And why is he a fool? What did he do that everybody know him to be foolish? Because apparently this dude is a total idiot. Because anytime somebody say something when you just know what they saying is outlandish, and it's just of all the lies you could have told, you told me that lie. That's when you hit him with the, do I look like Boo Boo the Fool? But who was Boo Boo? The only Boo Boo I know is the little bear that that used to hang out with Yogi. And I don't think they was talking about him. Who is Boo Boo the Fool? I got to do my research now. I'm intrigued. I need to know who Boo Boo the Fool was. I got to. Because if I don't find out, I am going to... I don't find out, it's going to do me in. Now, after they done lied to you so much, you have come to the determination that what? You a lie and the truth ain't in you. Now listen. If somebody tells you that you a lie and the truth ain't in you, that means that you in no way, shape, form, or fashion are capable of telling the truth. And I don't believe nothing you say. You can stand outside and literally tell me that the sky's blue. And I see that the sky's blue. But because I know you a lie and the truth ain't in you, I ain't gonna believe you. I'm just not. I'm not gonna believe you. Why? Because you a lie. And the truth ain't in you. The truth ain't in you no kind of way. Ain't nowhere in you. You just a liar. Just lie about it. Just lie because you can. It's just like who thought of that? Who lied to you so much? And who hurt you so much with that lie that you just said you a lie and the truth ain't in you? They had to hurt your soul for it to go that way. Another saying I like is when you hear people say, hey man, if you like it, I love it. Because that's the way of you saying, you stupid. It's just a cool way of saying you stupid. That's all it is. Or hey man, you live with that decision. Cause whatever. You've had that instance where somebody walk up and like, hey man, check this out. This my new girl. Like, word? Yeah. Okay. And you looking at it and they speaking, they just glowing. It's like, hey man, if you like it, I love it. No, I don't. But I'm just telling you to encourage you because I know you made a bad decision, but I'm not gonna tell you. So I'm just gonna say, hey, if you like it, man, I love it. God bless you. You doing good. Another favorite saying. I used to hear my mom say this a lot. And if you're from the South, or if you know somebody from the South, you probably heard this too. Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. What? If the Lord willing and the creek don't rise. I guess that was their way of saying, listen, if all things go well, then fill in the blank. So, hey man, I'll be there tomorrow, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Well, if he's willing, why would he make the creek rise? That seems counterintuitive for Jesus. I don't think he would do that. Another notable one is when you hear them say, if my four walls don't become my grave. What? If my four walls don't become my grave and my bed don't become my cooling board. Listen, them people in the South got some sayings. If your bed don't become your cooling board, like the slab that they put you on in the morgue, is that what you're referring to, sir? So if I don't die, then yes, I will join you in the festivities on the morrow. Like, okay, I guess. Now, I'll always like this one. Bless your heart. See, that was a church people way of throwing shade. They say, bless your heart. You do something stupid, well, bless your heart. They know you stupid. And they knew what you did was stupid. But instead of saying it, you know what they say? Bless your heart. They use it when they see them. They use it when they see them ugly babies. Y'all know them babies. You see them babies, and you be like, "Oh." And instead of saying, "Oh," because look, when you see a cute baby, you say, "Oh my goodness, he is so cute. He's so handsome," or "She's so pretty. She's so gorgeous." You see that baby that look a little rough around the edges. What you say? Well, bless his heart. Oh, look, bless his God. Look at him. Or you say, look at him. Bless his heart. Look, you know that you gonna start praying for that child because they ain't looking a little rough around the edges. Bless their heart. Bless their little hearts. Next one I like. God don't like ugly. Then they go on to say God don't like ugly, and he ain't too fond of pretty either. I have no idea what that means. What if God actually likes ugly? What's ugly to the Lord? How do we know? God don't like ugly. You mean that God don't like people when people do things, like he don't like people doing ugly things? Is that what you mean? God don't like ugly and he ain't too fond of pretty. So if he don't like ugly and he don't like pretty, then what does he like? See, now I'm confused about Jesus. I don't like that. Y'all be sending mixed messages to people talking about some God don't like ugly and he don't like pretty. Then what does he like? Tell me I should be pleasing to the Lord, but I don't even know how to please him because I don't know what he likes. I just know he don't like ugly and he's not fond of pretty. All right, I guess. And then another notable, you know how when you see somebody, and I saw somebody post something like that. What did you say? I bet. Now, you know what that reminded me of when I saw that? When I like those older guys, when you greet them and you be like, hey man, what's going on? They say, I can't call it. Like, okay. I can't call it, bro. Like, all right, man, that's cool. Or they have some other little thing like, hey man, what's going on? Hey man, it's your world. I'm just living in it. All right. What's going on, man? Hey, man, this your world. I'm just squirrel. This your world, man. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. I guess. Or there'd be it'll be some real elaborate ones. Hey, man, what's going on? Hey, man, you got the best hand. I'm just bluffing. What's going on, man? Man, you know, same soup just warmed over. What? Where is this conversation going, sir? What's going on, man? Same drama, different soap opera. All right. Now we're just making stuff up. That's what we're doing. Okay. I mean, it's it's listen, Jennifer, I know. Because Pop always said, oh man, the same soup just warmed over. I'm like, all right. All right, Pop. You know. Or my personal favorite, what's going on, man? It's slow motion, man. But you know, slow motion better than no motion. All righty. Okay. Some other notable ones. Excuse me, you are not made out of glass. How many times have you heard that coming up? Like, what are you talking about, lady? You're not made out of glass. Move, I can't see through you. Oh, my bad. Let me get out your way. You ain't made out of glass. Or, what's another one? Delcy, tell me if you remember this one. Oh, you don't believe fat meat greasy. I don't know. I don't cook. I couldn't tell you if fat meat is greasy. Is it? I guess. You don't believe fat meat greasy, do you? Oh, here we go. Or one of my other personal favorites. Do you have McDonald's money? You know I ain't got no McDonald's money. And the fact that you asked me that irritates my soul. You don't give me no allowance. Lord knows you don't pay me for stuff to do around the house. And then when I ask you if we can go to McDonald's, you ask me if I have McDonald's money, knowing that I ain't got a job. It's just condescending. And I don't like it. I don't like it. That's another good one, Jennifer. Nothing comes to a sleeper but a dream. Can't be in the bed all the time. Dreaming about stuff to do. You got to get out there and make it happen. Another notable one is, woo, child. Look, you want some good black women gossip? Go around when somebody say, woo, child, you know it's about to be one. It is about to be one. And you need to get all the information that you can because they finna spill all the tea. Woo, look, woo, child, and listen. Oh, you know it's gonna be good now. If they use any of those two phrases, it is about to go down. Another phrase, I don't particularly like this one, but we use it a lot. At the end of the day. Lord knows that at the end of the day, y'all use that so much. I'll be waiting for the day to end just so y'all can shut up. At the end of the day, I get it. I get it. This is your final say on the subject. At the end of the day, well, blah blah blah. But at the end of shut up. Okay, I get it. You want to make a point, and your point stands. I absolutely hate. I'm with you, Delcy. At the end of the day. I can't stand that one. You know another one I can't stand? It is what it is. It's such a cop-out statement. It is what it is. I can't stand it. And we use it all the time. It is what it is. I'm like, oh my God. You know what I do like about us is that we can take a word or a phrase and it can mean multiple things, such as, all right now. Think about it. You see somebody on the street, you wave, you be like, all right now. It's a greeting. Same phrase, you leaving or you in a conversation, you about to go, you be like, all right now. Somebody may have said something that you don't like. You be like, all right now. Or maybe you're just tired of the conversation. You don't even want nothing to do. You be like, all right now. That one that one phrase can be used in so many different ways. Black black people are the only people that can do that. I think Bernie Mac said it once when he was talking about the word, when he was talking about the when he was talking about using the word MF. He said MF is the only word that can be a person, place, or thing. That's what black people, we do that, boy. We can turn anything into anything. That's what make us so dope, man. But yeah, I know you heard people say, all right now, and you use it in different ways. It can be used in different ways. It all depends on the inflection of your voice and the situation. Now, my personal favorite, one of my personal favorites, I wish it would. It's so aggressive, and it's one of them phrases that just be like, it just sounds so cold when you say it. And it's like you just inviting trouble. It's like, I wish it would. You wish you would do what? What you wish he gonna do? Half y'all ain't gonna fight. Half you don't want to fight. But you get in your feelings and you start talking. I wish a nigga would say something to me. No, you don't. Listen, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't want the confrontation. I hope we can work this out amicably. But I love that. I love that phrase. I absolutely love it, man. Look, there's so many different black people, man. I absolutely hate sometimes that we don't see just how dope we really are. And everybody else sees it. Everybody else sees it. And sometimes and the fact that we don't see it, the fact that we don't understand it makes us not value who we are and what we are, what we're capable of. And I just want us to get to a point where we are so sure of ourselves and sure of our abilities and our power and just who we are, man. Because if we was to start doing that, man, couldn't nobody stop us. They couldn't. I was watching this guy, this comedian, and I'm gonna let y'all go because I'm gonna get up out of here. And he was talking about, listen, he said, I want to preface this joke by saying that slavery was a horrible thing. And he goes on to talk about black people. He was like, I grew up around black people. And he was like, and he said, I realized, he said, and I grew up idolizing them. He said, because they were good at everything that they did. No matter what they did, they were they were just the best at it. He said, which, when you think about it, when you think about slavery, the fact that we were able to keep you guys slaves for as long as we did, he was like, that's kind of cool. He was like, because at any given time, you all could have ran away and we would not have caught you. He said at any time you could have literally just band together and you could have beat the living daylights out of all of us and we could not have done anything about it. And I thought about the thing, and though it was a joke, there was some truth to it. It's like I don't know what it is that we never realize just how great we are. And I just want us to get to that. I just want one day for us to get to that point, man. And I don't know if that day will ever come, But here's the hope, right? Anyway, listen, I've been rambling long enough, and I appreciate y'all hanging out with me on tonight. Like I said, Mr. Hines will be back on next week, and and if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, we will be back here next week as well. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Enjoy your weekend. Have fun. Love on your family and check in on your peoples and make sure they're okay. All right. So on behalf of Philip Hines and the Man Up Real Talk podcast, I am the host, Mr. Mike Wiley, saying until we talk again, my friends, y'all get 2 fingers to the side. Make sure you holler at your boy because we are officially out. Peace.